Today we're covering insurance fraud story from Colorado. We're going to react to news story, actual footage of the fraud as it was happening, what contractor have to say, and how news are reporting on the story.
Now to a CBS News Colorado investigation. New at 10 tonight, an area contractor is admitting he acted unprofessionally during a recent home inspection.
Well, first of all, he admitted acting unprofessional. Listen, when you commit insurance fraud, you're committing a crime. Insurance fraud is not unprofessional behavior. Knocking on doors with no soliciting sign maybe is not professional. Many other things you call non-professional. But when you go to the house to create damage, you're committing act of vandalism and you're committing insurance fraud. Let's call it what it's called.
But CBS News Colorado investigator Brian Moss has uncovered video of the contractor at work and explains his actions might be more than just unprofessional.
Agree with that.
It was late August when the sales manager for a roofing company was snagged by surveillance cameras. What he appears to do is catching insurance professionals by surprise.
It's just so blatant and brazen of an act.
Hailstorms this summer pummeled the Front Range and the Parker area, where this man was working, the Newland Meadows neighborhood. The family who lives in this home says the salesman told them he'd check for hail damage, but watch closely. He appears to be creating dents in their garage door.
Oh yeah, you can see him creating the marks.
Carol Walker represents the insurance industry in Colorado. Walker watched the video. The salesman doing the same thing over and over and over again, appearing to make dents in the garage door, then chalking them for the insurance adjuster, who'd be stopping by later that day.
So first of all, what contractor should have done is to show up at appointment with insurance adjuster, walk the property, see the damage. We're talking about Colorado here. Colorado has massive hail damage this year. I think they have 3 or 4 events, and the hail is huge. So there's plenty of work, plenty of low-hanging fruit for these storm chasers. But yet, this guy have decided to go in front of insurance adjuster, create a dance to show adjuster later.
Goes right to work, I think very clearly creating hail damage that wasn't there to profit from it.
The man in the video, David Kuntz, sales manager for Timberland Exteriors of Colorado, first told us.
David Kuntz have been on a stage of Win the Storm conference organized by Anthony Delmedico. It's your hub for storm chasers. And over the years, I have seen plenty of people on a stage getting awards, people like David Kuntz recognized for their behavior. But in reality, Anthony Delmedico, the person who organized the conference, is one of the biggest crooks who filed a few bankruptcies, and I wouldn't be surprised if he would be doing something like this. Now, I'm not accusing him, but leadership is very bad at the highest level of the conference. It's what's very interesting, and I want to cover this. When this story have been shared in their Facebook group, it was deleted many times. What does it tell you? Like, this guy have been caught doing something very unethical, illegal, but yet they're still covering him up. And that's one of the reasons when the storm is dying conference last year, no one wanted to attend it, because as an industry, we have to stand up and we have to call out the fraud within us. And if you recognize someone before, but now they're doing something like this, as a leader of the industry, and I'm calling Anthony Delmedico himself in this video, you, my friend, should have called out David Kuntz, and you decided instead to cover it up, delete the post, and don't let community even to talk about it. Says a lot about your integrity, where you are today, and what kind of leader in the roofing industry you are.
First told us, I don't know what the F I was doing there, he said. This just looks kind of bad. He went on to say he...
No. David, you know exactly what you were doing. It's not the first rodeo for you. You probably have done it before. And if you would not be caught here, you probably would do it again.
Say he is trying to be Robin Hood all the time. This extra stuff helps them pay their deductible because they are ripped off in the policies.
Wow, really? This looks kind of bad, trying to be Robin Hood all the time. This extra stuff helps them pay their deductible because they are ripped off in their policy.
I was probably trying too hard to help them out. There I am trying to help these dumb MFers, and it obviously backfired.
Wow. Can you be more blatant about your unethical behavior and trying to justify it? You cannot fight evil with evil. Yes, insurance companies, State Farm, Allstate, they're very hard to get approval these days. But if we get on this level, what do you think gonna happen next? You are, my friend, even bigger problem, because now you're gonna ruin this industry, which already been ruined for all of us, for all good roofers, for all hardworking people. Now you create an absolute mess. And I'm sorry, but you guys, the community of storm chasers, have to clean yourself up. This is the reason roofers hate you. This is the reason insurance companies are so hard to deal with these days, because of the crap like this.
He's not helping anyone. He's helping himself.
Exactly.
To more profits.
Agree.
Walker says he's hardly Robin Hood, since she says inflating claims hurts everyone.
We ultimately all pay for that through higher insurance premiums.
Yes, we do.
But I'm not making damage to help them.
I'm not making damage to help them.
Spoke to us on camera saying despite how it appears, he was not trying to fabricate damage.
What I'm trying to do is feel for it. I'm pushing on it, and I'm seeing if it's insulated. Then I want to feel where the hits are.
What tool were you using to press in on that garage door?
Dude, you got caught. Admit your wrongdoings. Say you're not going to do it again, but keep lying about it. You think that's the way to go here?
What were you doing? What were you using?
Nothing. I was using my thumb.
But watch his hands closely.
Lie
He clearly
again?
appears to pull an implement out of his pack and use it on the door.
In the last 10 years, the insurance industry says hailstorms have caused $5 billion damage in Colorado. And for a recent 3-year period nationwide, the industry says questionable hail claims went up 34%. Kuntz insists what he did was unprofessional, but he says he was not attempting anything fraudulent.
It didn't look right, and I should have been more on top, more aware of what I was doing. So I'm very sorry.
I don't think you're sorry. You know exactly what you were doing. You were doing fraudulent work, fraudulent activities. You were not trying to help anyone. To understand why, I would have to look at the place where it was taken, Colorado. If that would be taken in Chicago, I could understand. And let me explain that. So let's say you have 7 kids. Let's say you don't have a job for 6 months and you go to the store and steal food to feed your family. While it's bad and cannot be justified, if we ask why did mom stole food to feed her kids, it's because she's a mother. She has to protect her kids and she has to feed them. She has to survive. We understand why, we understand the problem, and we understand why, right? What we have here is state where plenty of work. This is right here is pure laziness. He could go to other area with severe damage and help those homeowners. He decided to go where damage is not present and make a damage. It's also unethical what he was doing, but more than anything, it's a fraudulent activity, and we're gonna call it that. We're not gonna cover it up. You are lazy. You have made a decision to do what you did here, knowing that this house does not have the damage. You decided to create the damage, and this is on you, my friend, and you should pay this price.
To top it off, when the salesman doesn't know he's on camera, he appears to urinate on the side of the house.
No comments there.
Legitimate hail damage is what Mother Nature created, not what that gentleman created.
I'm Brian Moss, covering Colorado First.
After seeing that video, the homeowners decided not to pursue a claim with their insurance company. The insurance industry says there's a lot that you can do to protect yourself from what they call storm.
I actually like this trend of cameras and being exposed, because if we try to hide this story, if any one of you is hating for us, speaking up about it, and you thinking that we're just pointing fingers and we exposing, listen to me very carefully. What this does, if we cover up this story, if we do not talk about it, if we don't share it, tomorrow someone else will do it again, because industry does not expose this kind of behavior. If we do what Wind the Storm does, delete the post, don't talk about it, don't point out someone's mistakes, the problem is never gonna go away. I love this trend of people being watched. I was in China a month ago, and one of the things they told me, in China you have cameras everywhere. You know what happened with that? The crime rate went down. They said, we don't have a crime. Nobody steals cars, theft is gone, because people know they are being watched. And I love this. And I want all contractors watching this act like you are being watched. Always think on the back of your mind, there's might be cameras somewhere. I mean, if you don't have a character just to do right every single time, by default, maybe set of cameras around you or knowing that there might be cameras will help you. This day and time, and this is my prediction, we're gonna have more and more reality TV type of shows, more and more sets. You will see people documenting roofs without a damage, and you will see people trying to set up roofers. You will see insurance companies trying to set up roofers. You will see media companies trying to set up roofers. And as tempting as it could be to make $1 on a claim or to inflate that claim or get more stuff bought, it's not worth it. Do not ruin your reputation in 5 minutes. If you build a reputation over 10, 20 years, like Warren Buffett says, it takes a couple minutes to ruin it. David Kuntz ruined his reputation twice here. One time is when he decided to make a damage, and second time when he decided to lie about it after he got caught. So guys, always think that you are being watched. If you see something, please say something. I was at my CrossFit gym the other day, and I met this roofer, local roofer, have plenty of hailstorm, 5, 6 this year alone. And he told me, Dmitry, I've never seen anything like this. I showed up at the neighborhood, I see yard signs and trucks and people just, they're like ants everywhere. And he said, I look at the roof and 2 guys going on the roof, lifting cedar shakes and making a damage. I wish I filmed it. And I told him, I wish you would film it too. Guys, if you see anyone vandalizing, creating damage, what David Kuntz did here, report them. It's not worth it because they are ruining the game, the good game of insurance restoration for all of us. Comment below what you think about the story. I'll read all of my comments and I'll see you guys in the next video.